We are ready to continue with our opinion paragraph. We're going to finish up the last couple of stages of the writing process today. So we started with our planning page where we got our ideas down on paper. The next thing we did was we wrote a draft. So we came up with the title, Toad's Irresponsibility, and it is okay if yours is a little bit different than mine. And I am actually seeing, so we're going to be working on the revising and editing stage. I actually see a spelling error in my title right here. I spelled that wrong. It should actually be B-I-L-I-T-Y for irresponsibility. So in this stage, what we're going to do, we're going to go through our paragraph and make some changes to change a couple of words, make sure things are spelled correctly. So here we go. And we don't have to make a lot of changes, just a couple to make sure that we're rereading our work. I think Toad is the best example of the theme of irresponsibility in this story. I think almost all of us have the same opening sentence, and that is okay. Some of your examples might be different than mine, and that is okay too, but see if you can change a couple of words to make them better descriptions. Toad demonstrates irresponsibility when he steals a motor car and later a horse. Toad acts irresponsibly when he disguised himself as a washerwoman and escaped from jail. Toad lied at the train station to get a ticket, and that is irresponsible. Toad is very irresponsible in this story. Now, I don't think there's a whole lot that we can change here. You might want to change Toad to Mr. Toad, or you could change it to he, and that's okay to do. I am going to change one thing down here. It says Toad in my concluding sentence, Toad is very irresponsible in this story. Instead of saying in this story, I'm actually going to write the title, In the Wind and the Willows, just to be a little bit more specific for my reader so they know what book we're talking about, since we did not state it in our opening sentence, in our introductory sentence. You want to make sure that all of your words are spelled correctly, especially this irresponsible. You want to make sure washerwoman. These are all words that you can find in your reader. Or you can copy them right from me. So those couple changes are what I'm going to fix when I rewrite my writing. I want to show you our editing checklist, which is on page 13.3 activity page in your book. And the questions you want to ask, do I have a fitting title? I think we do. We're talking about Toad being irresponsible, and that's really what we say in our title. So I can check that off. Do all of my sentences start with capital letters? I'm going to go back and I'm going to find, there's the beginning of a sentence. Here's a period. Here's the beginning of a sentence, capital. Here's a period. Here's the beginning of a sentence. I have a capital, period. Here's a capital, period. Here's a capital. So I can check that off. I'm good. Do all of my sentences end with the correct punctuation? I had periods at the end of all of my sentences, so I can do that. Now you can use different punctuation. If you ask a question, of course, you need a question mark. Have I spelled all of my words correctly? Well, now I have, because I fixed this one at the top for irresponsibility. Have I used correct grammar? Yes, we did use correct grammar. We had a subject and a verb in all of our sentences. Does each sentence provide a complete thought? I think Toad is the best example of the theme of irresponsibility in this story. It does. And as we read, these things you can be looking for as you're revising and editing so that you don't have to go back again and do it. So I'm going to check that off. Now, when I'm grading these, here's what I'm going to be looking for. In order to get a 4, which is the best score, I want to see a strong topic sentence that is indented Oh, indented, right? You need to start on this first line right here so that it is indented. You want that space there. It's a paragraph, so we need to indent. Next, the paragraph has multiple sentences with details supporting the topic sentence. We did that together and we have that. Supporting sentences in each paragraph are organized in a coherent order. We did put them in coherent order. Coherent means it makes sense, okay? So we're not talking about stealing and lying in the same sentence. The paragraph has a strong concluding sentence. You can change your concluding sentence, you can add to it, you can even put your opinion at the end and say, I think Toad is very irresponsible if you want to. In order to get a 4, you can have no errors, no mistakes in grammar, capitalization, or punctuation, which means you need all your capitals, all your ending punctuation, and all of your sentences need to make sense. Now for a 3, it's pretty much the same thing. The first 3 are the same. You have a good concluding sentence. So it's good, but it's not like, wow, that's really good. There are a few errors in grammar, capitalization, and punctuation. So if you missed one capital letter, you can still get a 3, which is a good score. And then it kind of goes down from there, and I don't expect anyone to get a 2 or a 1 on this one because we did this together for the most part. So if you forgot to indent, you might have a 2. Let's see. Yep, you're still indenting on a 3. So if you forget to indent, you'll be marked down to a 2. Maybe you don't have all of the details that you need. Your concluding sentence, maybe you just said, and that's the end. That would be a weak concluding sentence. And you have some errors. I can still understand what you're writing, but there's some errors. You missed, 2 or 3 capital letters at the beginning of your sentences. And a 1, well, a 1 probably means that you didn't show up for class and you didn't watch the videos because your sentences aren't in a good order, you don't have a lot of details, you don't even have a concluding sentence, and there might be so many errors in your writing that I can't really read what you're trying to say to me, okay? So that's what I'm going to be looking for when I'm scoring these, and I can't wait to see your final product, which you are going to write very neatly. You're going to put on page 13.4. You're going to put your title on the dark line up here at the top, and you're going to start your writing and indent it right here, okay? So this is what I'm going to be scoring for you on the rubric, boys and girls, and I can't wait to see your final product.